Okay, if I can have everybody's attention, please. If you would please silence your cell phones. We'll call this meeting to order. Today is Monday, May 1st. And I've got 4:31 this afternoon on Monday. We do have copies of our agenda up on the table. If you happen not to have one, we do have some extra copies readily available. If you would, please rise. We recite the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Moving on to our invocation, we have with us Pastor Mike Bourget of Mount Pleasant United Methodist Church. Pastor Mike, you have the hills.
Thank you. Good afternoon, gentlemen. Just very short. You've probably heard this before, but I can never hear it enough as a leader myself. In Joel 2, 28, 29, but afterward I will pour out my spirit on all flesh. Your sons and daughters shall prophesy, your old men shall dream dreams, and your young men shall see visions. Even on the male and female slaves, in those days I will pour out my spirit. Several years ago, I was learning leadership. I met the company of a Tennessee state congressman. And it's one quote I actually love to hear again and again from our former president, Theodore Roosevelt. It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles or where the doer of deeds could have been done better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs and comes up short again and again, because there is no effort without error or shortcoming. But who knows the great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself for a worthy cause, who at the best knows the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least he fails while daring something greatly, so that his place shall never be by those cold and timid souls who never knew victory nor defeat. Folks, I pray for your vision. I pray for your leadership. Without vision, you're only going for a walk. That's good. God bless you. Let's pray. Oh God, as you anointed leaders and called prophets of old, lead us to recognize our true representatives and authentic leaders. Men and women who love your people and can walk with them, who feel their pain and share their joys, who dream their dreams and strive to accompany them to their common goal. In your fire, with your spirit, embolden and commission us to transform our political system, to serve your people, and to bring real glory to your name. And all God's people said.
Amen.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Pastor. All right. Put on to item 4 on our agenda. Consider adopting the minutes of the work session and regular meeting held March 27, 2017. The budget work session held April 11th and 12th, 2017. The work session and called meeting, including executive session minutes held on April 24th, 2017. Gentlemen, I presume you've had an opportunity to review those minutes. Do I have a motion to approve as presented? Commissioner Holcomb, second. Commissioner Goodger, second. Discussion. Have none, all in favor of approval, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed say no. Motion carries. Thank you. Now going to our acknowledgments, proclamations, and presentation. We have a presentation regarding the Helen to Hardman Trail project, which is an exciting project that's, goodness, 18 months ago, 2 years ago, started out not making light of it in a smaller fashion, but then it grew and well, there's no sense in me just trying to fill the void here. I've got Richard Riley here. Richard has done some presentations, and some of you have been privy to those presentations, but some of you have not. So Richard, would you mind taking the hill for a little bit and give us some insight for the group, what's going on at Hardman Trail?
It would be an honor. Thank you so much for the opportunity to come talk about something that Jay Lawson and myself are extremely passionate about. That is about to happen. This concept started, just to give you a little background, with a conversation with John Erbley, White County DNR manager. And we was talking about the Gainesville Northwestern Railroad. So you may remember that or have heard of it. A railroad that came to Helen, took lumber back, and finally realized there was money to be made in bringing tourists up there. Well, I told John, I said, wouldn't it be nice to be able to tie that in somehow to the Hardman Farm? And he said, you know, the railroad bed's still here on the river. And I said, oh, no, I didn't know that. So we walked out there as far as we could go and had grown up and looked at it, went up the upper end, at the north end, and looked at the old concrete bridge, which is still there. Walked out on that thing, looked up the river, thought, boy, this is nice. Looked down the river, and it was just absolutely spiritual. And I'm quite happy about that. It was definitely spiritual. The sun was shining through the leaves and sparkling off the clean, clear water. And there was a tunnel just went down through there. You could hear the water running under that bridge. You couldn't hear anything else. And the air was fresh and clean. And I thought, wouldn't this be something that would just be great to bring people from the northern Atlanta suburbs up here and to just walk down through there and enjoy some serenity that they don't experience in traffic in Atlanta. And so I sent some photographs over to an associate of mine, Kerry Wilder, and we looked at the possibility of creating just a walking trail. And that process, as Travis said, has grown from a very simple trail to an extremely elaborate 4,400 feet trail along the Chattahoochee River. I'll try to get a map for the commission, but show it if you can set up on the screen. Also, the trail is 4,400 feet will be. The northern end is up at the concrete bridge. That's outside, that's in that field just, I guess that would be what, east of the Helen water treatment plant, as they like to refer to it. And we would then run it all along the river as where it's appropriate, and when it's not appropriate, where you have wetlands, you can't run something on that. All the way down to the new switchback parking lot trail down at the red brick building on the Hardman Farm. This trail will consist of 8 to 10 foot wide concrete, and where it's necessary to avoid wetland, it'll be built up with wood, with railing. And all along the trail, there'll be certain places that you can go outside and look. Let's move along. And you can sit down on some gigantic boulders. These are just huge boulders that will create some of the, let's look at the gate. Be able to look at the river. There'll be 4 sections of the river will be divided into 4 themes. The northern end will be a theme more or less connected to the city of Helen. So the second theme will be connected to the fauna, the atmosphere of the mountains, of the plant life and so forth. The middle will be tied to the Nora Mill, which was a Hardman Farm built owned property that made electricity for the big house. Not many people know that, in addition to around the corner. And then the last part will be connected to the Hardman Farm and the SauteeLIve Indian Mound, which a lot of folks don't realize is connected to the Hardman Farm. The beginning of the trail, as you can see, okay. The beginning of the trail will have a parking lot, which will be a combination of concrete and gravel. Concrete part of the parking lot, and gravel into the road, and then concrete all the way over to the bridge. And there'll be a gazebo built on one side, and we're trying to determine how big a gazebo that's going to be, but a place where people can actually sit down, and there'll be appropriate trees and shrubbery that separates the view from the gazebo to the, they say, the water treatment plant. But this will carry 24 spaces plus handicap. And this will be what's referred to as the northern end. And then you can walk over to the trail, okay, and then start going down. And then there's a landing area made up of native stone at the gate. I think we got a blow up picture. This will be an archway of rock, native rock. It'll be an arch. I don't think I've got it. Yeah, on the slides. Here we go. This is a beautiful. This is the northern. This is what we call the northern gate. This will be all native rock, and it to be just wide enough for people to walk in. The trail is designated no motorized vehicles. We do not want people to have to worry about some guy coming down through in a four-wheeler and a golf cart. The DNR people are working on the possibilities of allowing bicycles, and so that's up for discussion. But what we want people to do is to come there with the children, push a baby stroller. It's all ADA, the whole trail is ADA, EPA approved. Everything is up to snuff, as you can imagine, on the Chattahoochee River. It has to be, and then DNR does things, they do them right. But it will not have motorized vehicles. And that, we think, is absolutely critical. The gates, both the north and south gates, will have a map and a platform on it so you can see the whole trail. And there's room for dedication plaques, and we've talked to 2 Rotary clubs about the possibilities of doing some in-kind contributions and allowing them to maybe to have recognition for that. Okay? As you go through the gate and start going down the trail, in the areas where there are wetlands, of course you can't disturb the wetlands. They have to be maintained, and so there'll be a built-up pressure-treated wood about 2 to 3 feet off the ground with railing and seating as you can walk across that and those wet areas, but it'll be within the side of the river, okay? And continuing on down, then it's concrete, as I said, to be anywhere from 8 to 10 foot wide, depending upon the bank. If they don't want to dig into the side of the bank, we'll then disturb any more than we have to. And on the riverside, there's going to be all kinds of repair where there's been some erosion and some gullies that have formed. All that's going to be fixed, as you can imagine. But I think the 4 areas that I mentioned, the different themes, also will have interpretive signage. Now that's something that we're working on. We're trying to find appropriate historical information, old photographs, and to tell the different 4 stories that make up this part of the Sauteelicue River Valley, actually. And I think that's what people are interested in. They want to come up. I'm hoping that we could get signage in such a way that it'll have a QR code for those of you that are technically savvy, or your grandchildren or your children are. You take your phone and you click on that code, and up will come appropriate videos that will have actual, maybe historians, people would tell a story. And I think that would be just absolutely so cool, because that's what people want to hear. They want to learn, we want to teach, and we want to give them something that they can get excited about. Continuing on down the trail, there's, there's, you see the boulder right up there. Continuing on down the trail, there's all kinds of places you can get out really close to the river, which gives you an opportunity to see the trout, smell the freshness, and feel the water. And then on farther down there, just below Nora Mill Dam, there will be a build out that encircles a tree. See if you find it for me. Yeah, keep on going. It'll be a little build out with a hole. There it is. That's right below, as you can see, the little line across the river. That's Nora Mill Dam. And then what we have is an area just below that that'll be built around this huge tree. And we think that's a great photo opportunity that people will want to put their loved ones up there and then stand back and take pictures of them. Seating all the way around so they can just sit down and enjoy the trail. I think nothing would be more cool than to bring your kids or grandkids up and just talk about and learn about and smell and feel the beauty of the Northeast Georgia mountains and the importance that the Chattahoochee River plays in the very life of this whole valley. But the history behind it is absolutely fabulous. And to be able to tell that, I think, and this is important, is an economic development tool. People from the land are looking for places to go where they can interact. They're not looking for static displays. They're looking for things that they can get involved in. Nothing's more appropriate than this trail, and it is one of the more popular things that's going on all the way across the whole South. Trails are going across Georgia, they're going across Alabama. Atlanta's trying to do one around Atlanta called the Beltway. You've heard about that. It's a very popular venue, and what we want is to have something up here that will cause people to want to come and see the other things that are going on, and also to stay, spend a couple of nights, spend the money, pay the taxes that benefits the entire. This is not a Helen project. It's not a Hardman Farm project. It's a White County project. It's a Northeast Georgia mountain project. What I think is the most important thing, and it seems to be shared by just about all the folks in economic development, including the local White County Chamber of Commerce, is that the more people come, the more money they spend, the better the economic development is, the more the county can grow and generate funds. So I think this is not only a tourist venue, but it's a total economic development project. Okay. Going on down, way on down to the end, you can see that last shot, and then I'll move on.
I'm going down to Old Salty. I'm going down to Old Salty. I'm going down to Old Salty. Oh Lord, give me a cup of coffee. I'll give me a cup of coffee. I'll give me a cup of coffee. I'll give me a cup of coffee. Oh Lord, down there in Old Salty. Woo!
Gate. Yeah. The south gate and how the trail connects with the parking lot, I think, is interesting. If you're familiar with the way the Highway 75 Highway Bridge kind of curves around in the red brick buildings on the side, it's real close to that bank. So what we've designed is to get the Georgia DOT to build a guardrail around up against the trail that separates the trail from the highway, because people are coming through there, except maybe in the fall, about 50, 55 miles an hour, and we're concerned about families with children.
Yes.
But there has to be a certain section that's open, because there is a road that goes to Mr. Thomas Wick's property back there, so we have to have there'll be a small section that we'll probably put out pylons, removable pylons that will at least separate visually the trail from the highway. Yeah, there we go. Well, there's actual, don't we have an actual picture? Well, right here, the new Hardman Farm parking lot, as you know, the entrance has now been moved from the red brick building. You go down 17 and come back over the mountain, and there's a beautiful brand new parking lot, a switchback, all ADA paved rails, the whole thing, all the way down to what they refer to as the old store, and go in to see the home. Right here was what I was talking about, is this area right in through here, and here's the highway coming right through here, so it gets right in here just a little tight, and I was concerned that maybe there might be some, I mean, my grandkids, I don't want to be holding them hands on the other side, but Georgia DOT says don't worry about it. The good news is, every time we presented this, everybody saw something that they can get into. I think there's room for entrepreneurial investments all the way around what's going on with this one venue. The state's got behind it. This has been a real pet project of the folks down at the Capitol. We've had nothing but support. Your elected officials got behind it. We got a budget passed, $1.5 million. What we're looking for is local matching money, local involvement, people that want to participate in it and make it a White County project, not a state of Georgia exclusive project. I think it's important that it be something that you want and that you can see that you've got benefits from it. If I was a gold miner, I would, at that northern end, the first thing I'd do is see if I couldn't lease that old gold mine up there. And I believe I put me in an old miner and a gold mining stand up there. And there's room for carriage rides, up, down, back, whatever. There's just all kinds of things that will happen. With the other things that are going on in White County, this is just one more. But I think this is a jump start of some opportunities for entrepreneurs who come in and see how they can benefit from the increased visibility that White County will get. White County Chamber of Commerce is completely behind this and has put a lot of effort into it already, helped us get a lot of publicity. We certainly do appreciate that. The Georgia State Department of Economic Development, their tourism division is behind this. The governor is behind this. The pre-bid meeting went last week. Bids are out. We'll be back in 30 days. They'll be open in 30 more, and construction starts early summer and fins up, I hope, before the end of the winter. Dedication is now, we're talking about maybe waiting until springtime and have a formal dedication, and ask all the political folks to come down and do photo ops. I'm a little bit excited about this project because I see a lot of opportunity for it. Because I grew up in this area, I grew up in the mountains, and I want to see more people benefit from what's up here. I want us to be able to get folks up here. If you've ever looked at the Department of Census figures for North Atlanta, just the perimeter of North Atlanta, Cobb County around to South Fulton County, 4 million people. 4 million people want to come to White County. They just need to know more about what's here. They need to find something for them to do and something for their kids to do. And that's what this is all about. And let people enjoy a beautiful place called Chattahoochee River.
Well, Richard, I'll say this, and thank you for the time and effort you've put into this project. Like, it started out just as a basic walking trail, and I'm going to use the word exploded, and it grew in a positive manner to what you see in front of you. And Richard's heard this many times, as many of you have. This goes right along with where, as a county as a whole, this project's just not for Helen. It's just not for Sautee or Cleveland. This is a whole community project, and it's another arrow in the quiver for our county. With the trails we're about to start construction on this summer over at Yonah Preserve, this project, we're going to have many trails, several miles of trails, that we'll be able to draw that northern arc he was just referring to make White County a destination point that will put heads in beds. Will alleviate them of a little bit of their pocket money and put that back in our county coffers, we hope. I was trying to be a little more tactful. Yeah, just please don't get lost and we have to call emergency management and go find somebody hiking. Well, they should have been hiking. So, anyway, Richard, thank you so much. Jay, thank you for your work on this as well. Thank you for all your work.
Answer any questions.
We appreciate it.
I'm in no hurry to leave.
All right.
So, thank you. Well, my pleasure.
Thank you. Moving on our agenda, because I know we've got a very lengthy one ahead of us. Item 6, presentation, White County Chamber of Commerce, operation. Thank you. Mr. Carl, you stood up, so I presume you're next. And Mr. Jackson.
We just want to take a few minutes of your time to say thank you. The story that White County tells is a story that everyone wants to read. It's a story that, as Richard's already alluded to, the folks in Atlanta are trying to capture a little bit of what we have. And if you just look around the country at basically every big city is trying to look like a small town. The new building has the small town feel, the outdoors feel. The outdoor industry itself is the fastest growing industry as far as retail goes, which I'm not complaining about at all. And White County already has what everybody else is trying to get, already has the basis for what everyone wants to see, where they want to spend their money and where they want to live. The fact that the unemployment rate in this county is so low, below 4%, means everybody that wants to work in White County is working. And a lot of other counties in Georgia would love to have that problem of needing to bring people in for the jobs that we have. And you all have been responsible for creating that pro-business environment that's brought folks to this county not only to live and to play, but to work. And as the chairman of the Chamber of Commerce this year, I've been able to see a little bit more hands-on some of the things that have been going on, not only politically, but with the broader vision that White County has, that all of the governments working together in White County have, to truly make White County the place that people want to be in Georgia. And over the years that I've been here and been involved, I've seen that more and more and more. And now it's gotten to the point where not only are we going to bring them in, but how fast are they going to come in, and how fast can we create more jobs, more business, more opportunity, more things for them to do while they're here. And you've got a lot of projects going on at once. The Helen to Hardman Trail is fantastic. I personally have a vision of a trail that branches off of this and encompasses the entire county, a countywide trail. And I'll come present that at another time. But just recently, the Tourism Product Development resource team was here in the county, and they were wowed. And some of you were able to see that presentation as well, and receive one of these packets. And it's almost, where do you begin? There's so much already going on that can be enhanced. There's so much more that can be done, and it's all exciting, and it all brings people here. It all tells the story of what we all want White County to be, of what we want to pass to our children, our grandchildren, our great-grandchildren, what we want to let the rest of the state, and really the rest of this region, the rest of the country, know what we are and what we stand for. And it really has been a fantastic opportunity for me to be just a little part of this year. And I also wanted to thank you for your part in helping White County to be named Georgia's outdoor adventure destination as far as a county. There was 159 counties that would have liked to have had that, and White County got it. And so we're the official designated county for outdoor adventure in North Georgia, and you can see that expanding and blowing up as well. But you all need especially to be thanked, and deserve to be thanked for your constant support, not only and especially monetarily and financially support, but just the vision and the energy and the drive that you commissioners and the people that work for you and everyone that works for the county has put into the overall vision of what we're trying to accomplish as a Chamber of Commerce, which is to make this county better for everyone. Not just for business, not just for outdoor industry or wine industry, but for everyone. Because we know that when everyone does better, everyone does better. And so what we'd like to do today is officially present you with our investor plaque, White County Chamber of Commerce for 2016 and 2017, with our thanks and with our adoration for the job that you do and the sacrifices that you make. Thank you.
I'm in the middle. This is
You're in trouble.
Don't hold my pocketbook for just a second. Start Cindy, go to our left, your right. We good?
We're good.
Hey, hey, lay on to the side. We understand the volunteerism aspect of what you guys have done, especially spending your time with your business. We actually get that.
You do, yes.
So we get that. Thank you for your time. We appreciate it. All right. All right, now we're going to get into some meat now. All right, move on to our consent agenda. Consent agenda, these are items that from our work session last week, there was a consensus amongst the board of where most everyone stood on this particular item, so therefore we were able to approve these items potentially in one full motion. And I'll read each item as we go through here. Item number 7, consider approval of the assignment of services agreement with Sentinel Offender Services LLC and CSRA Probation Services Incorporated related to the probation services in White County Probate Court and White County Magistrate Court. That was a presentation that was given to us by Probate Judge Garrison Baker. Item 8, consider a grant acceptance of the 2016 JAG Burn Grant in the amount of $86,709 even from the Franklin County Board of Commissioners related to the absorption of the North Georgia Drug Task Force by the Appalachian Regional Drug Enforcement Office. Essentially, Franklin County was a part of the North Georgia Drug Task Force. They are collapsing that particular entity, and it is being absorbed into our regional Appalachian Regional Drug Task Force. So that gives our drug task force a little more focus and touch down the I-85 corridor. Item 9, consider renewal of the memorandum of the Yonah Judicial Circuit counties to continue activities for the Yonah Judicial Circuit's Juvenile Justice Project coordinated through Family Connections. Item 10, consider award of a matured certificate of deposit, a CD currently held at United Community Bank in the amount of $169,400 even, awarding that CD to the high bidder to Mountain Valley Community Bank for a 12-month term. Item 11, consider approval of an upgrade to the road department's chipper through Mason Tractor Company with a trade-in of the 12-inch chipper. Item 12, consider a grant acceptance for the White County Emergency Management Agency, EMA, related to a portable generator grant, the amount of $59,580 even. This county budgeted match in the amount of $8,937, with this money coming out of the EMA's budget that's already been set aside. That's from the federal and in particular GEMA, Georgia Emergency Management Agencies. That's a grant acceptance. Then item 13, consider grant acceptance for the White County Emergency Management Agency EMA related to a grant for a weather station located at the White County High School, in the amount of $38,823 even, with county funds that have already been budgeted in the amount of $5,824. That's the county's match. That is also coming from FEMA and GEMA agencies. Gentlemen, you have the consent agenda set forth in front of you. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented?
So moved.
Commissioner Goodger first.
Second.
Commissioner Nix second. All right. Do we have any discussion from the board related to the consent agenda items? Okay. All right. Having none, all in support of approving the consent agenda, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, say no. All right. Consent agenda is approved, Ms. Shanda. Thank you. I don't have anything under old business because last week we took care of some items actually last week as well. And before I forget, Commissioner Bryant, it's good to see you here this evening.
Good to be here.
I'm glad you're feeling better. Item 14, all right, this is our new business. Consider bids received for the local maintenance improvement grant, LMIG Bridge Rehabilitation Project related to one bridge on Town Creek Road and the other two bridges located on New Bridge Road. Mr. Melton.
Mr. Chairman, in your book you have the bids that we received on this project, this LMIG project.
That's tab 14, Julie.
That's correct. You will see the low bid was $1,878,888.87. We have some issues with these bids. Our engineer cost estimate was nowhere near this amount. We think we may have some reasons why these bids were so high, but we're currently reviewing them. We also have DOT reviewing them. We'd like to ask the board to just go ahead and reject all these bids and give us an opportunity to take a look at this a little closer and see if we can rebid or see if we can scale these projects down. Town Creek Bridge in particular is a particular concern, and we want to try to get that bridge repaired, but until we can determine our course of action, we certainly don't want to accept any of these bids.
And I'll say this for those in the audience, and we're not going to spend much time on this because I think it's some pretty common sense, should be common sense. Based upon estimates from one or two bridge engineers and companies, we were looking around $600 to $700 to rehabilitate 3 bridges. We received bids that came in for $1.8 million. 3 times the amount. So do the math on that. It won't take long to figure out you can't afford that. So, but we're not going to make light of this either. No. And but we're going to do our due diligence to try to find a way to. We're going to dig a little deeper on this, do some research. And so I'd like to ask for a motion from the board to deny the bids received related to these 3 bridges and give staff the opportunity, as we've already begun the process working with GDOT and the engineer to find out errors in these bids.
I'll make a motion, Mr. Chairman, that we go ahead and refuse all these bids.
Okay. Commissioner Nixon makes a motion. Commissioner Hoffman, a quick second. Any other discussion? One thing I do want to make note, we're not sitting idly by on this, folks. Don't please hear me on that. So we're going to hopefully have this brought back before us, we hope, within the next 30 days, give or take. Mr. Melton, is that?
That's
I
correct.
hope. Okay. All right, closed discussion. All in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye. Aye, opposed say no. Motion carries. Thank you. All right, item 15, consider bids received on the Carolina Springs Road Improvement Project. That's tab 15 in your partial bid. We've got the rest of it here. Mr. Melton?
Yeah, Mr. O'Brien's going to pass these bids out to you, so you will have a hard copy of those. They were emailed out.
Correct.
But they came in on Friday, so we didn't have time to get them in the packets. You will see in the bids that were passed out, the low bidder for this project was Square Deal Construction at $478,891 out of the bids that we received, 3 bids that we received. As you know, this is the second time around we bid this project, and I think 478,894. Pretty good price.
Much cheaper than what it was.
And I would ask the board for their consideration to accept Square Deal's price of $478,894.
Make a motion, we accept the bid.
All right. Give me 1 second.
I'll second for discussion.
Okay, Commissioner Goodyear first, Commissioner Bryant second for discussion.
How much is that grant?
Grant's $358,000.
Yeah.
And then we have $70,000 in kind.
And we we also have 150,000 additional money that has been approved by DOT, up to 100. So with any luck between the grant and the DOT funding, we won't be out any more than what we spent on engineering.
We've already spent 70 grand on the engineering
That's
services. All right.
I've looked at this budget, for 6 months, ever since we've been looking at it, and trying to figure out where the money's at. And, well, it looks like most of it's in the erosion control because there's so much work right on the creek like that.
Are you talking about compared to what we was priced at versus what it's
Well,
priced
no,
at now?
compared to everybody, where the most money was at, and it looks like the erosion control was one of the big iffies there, because that road, when you run out of road, you're in the creek.
Well, and also because the majority of the funds are coming from the grant. With this grant, there's stipulations.
Yeah, that brings EPD in a little.
Not just in the state and the Fed. Is that a correct comment, Mr. O'Brien? That, and we'll get to our contractors in just a little bit, and they're smiling over there. And,
They know what we're talking about.
It's very challenging because, you know, we've been working on this project for 2 years. And I went down and actually met with DCA to get this approved. And here we are almost 2.5 years. August will be 3 years to get all the red tape through, to get to this point. And let's do this. I'll be quiet. I'm ready to get done. All right. Satisfied? Okay. All right. You got any other thing before I move on? All right. Okay, Mr. Mountain, before you issue the notice to proceed, there's a few things, a few T's got to be crossed and I's dotted.
That's correct.
All right. But what we're granting now is take care of the one of the issues regarding the grant, the stipulations. The board will have made a motion, say, of course, approved it, and we'll get that item off of our hit list. Okay? Closed discussion. I got a first and second for approval awarding the Carolina Springs Road Project to Square Deal in the amount of $478,891 even. All in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed say no. Scott, man, thank y'all so much for taking time to bid on this, and we're tickled when local bidders you pay taxes here. And I think I speak for everyone here on this board. We're glad to keep hopefully some of the funds local. So thank you for your involvement in our community, and we appreciate it.
Appreciate the chance for the work.
Oh. Well, and we do too. I mean, it's just when you deal with these federal and state funds, it kind of drives you crazy sometimes. But thank you. And Mr. Melton will be in touch with you, and Dave, Road Department, everyone will be in touch, start working out the particulars. In a perfect world, when do you think you guys could potentially, once we issue the notice to proceed, what's your schedule looking like? When can you get started?
One project finished.
Maybe June?
Yeah, mid-late June.
Okay. I'm just approximation. I'm not. This is not what wasn't part of the motion. It's done. It's over. So we're just going to get an idea of what to be looking at. So,
No idea.
all right. Thank you very much, and we appreciate it. All right. Anything else on that, Mr. Melton?
Right.
No, sir.
Good question. What does this entail? The base and paving on the road? What?
Mr. Melton.
Paving, drainage, just the entire roadway.
Right.
Constructing the entire roadway and paving.
Okay.
This grant, we got this grant because of job creation, because of Black Bear Rehabilitation Center. 5-6 years ago, the jobs essentially didn't exist. Now there are well over 200 in employment. located there on Carolina Springs Road. And Governor Deal, and I'm gonna give credit's due, in his tenure in office, has been very adamant about job creation. And we found favor at the state by going and petitioning, we'd love some help paving this road. Now, having said that, we had no idea that because of the soil erosion and all the federal fingers that came along, the hair came with the mule, I guess you can say. I had to use that at some point. All the hoops we had to jump through, and it has caused the project to be a lot higher than it probably should have. I know it should have. You're in grading business, and you said right. So anyway, we're looking forward to getting this project done.
Like you mentioned, it's been so long, I'm just trying to refresh my memory.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we know. How well we know. When I'm out of office, I'll share some stories about it too. All right, hush, I'll move on. Off the record. And through the woods. All right, item 16. Consider proposals received for the Yonah Preserve Project Construction Manager Risk. One thing we need to do is, I'm sorry we have failed to do this yet, but we need to create a committee.
A review committee to review these proposals.
So, having said that, there's been discussions, and I'll just go ahead and jump into it. I think it'd be appropriate to have a commissioner or two on the review committee, along with our county manager and our clerk, and possibly our road department, to be able to bring some insight. Is there any thoughts, ideas, pro, con?
Asking for volunteers, I guess, sound like.
Terry said he's volunteer.
Yeah, all right, I'm ready to make a motion on that. Terry, you find serving on that committee? Yeah. Okay.
Helen's familiar with that business, so if he'll volunteer, I would like to have him there too.
We don't have to ask him.
All right.
Motion.
Well, and also our SPOS manager, Kevin Hamby, because of his involvement. So if you guys are fine with this, the correction committee will be Commissioner Goodger, Commissioner Nix, Mr. Melton, Ms. Murphy, Kevin Hamby, our sales tax SPOS manager, along with Dave Kenjimmy, our public works director. Do you need that in the form of an official motion?
That would be good, Mr. Chairman.
All right, got a first, Commissioner Bryant.
Second.
Commissioner Holcomb, second. I'm not going to ask for any discussion. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Close.
We'll do y'all the same way someday.
All right, so the point will be, now that we've got the committee set, I know Commissioner Goodyear, you're going to be out of town.
Yeah, if we could do it this next week, it'd be good.
Yeah, the quicker we get it, I think our board is very keen on getting something moving on at Yonah Preserve.
We'll try to set it up.
Okay. All right. And then hopefully bring this back next 2 to 3 weeks for us to have a recommendation from the committee to approve our construction manager. And for the record, those, what has been dropped off the office has not been opened. Those are still sealed bids at this time. All right.
Shandy, you'll have to run some dates by me on the meeting date. I'm not in the middle of budgets at the water authority and insurance and all that good stuff. Do it before cutoff day. Yeah, that's today, so we got 30 days.
All right. Anything else on that item, Mr. Melton?
That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. All right, moving on to item 17, Ms. Vicki Mays, Finance Director. You've got the hill, Ms. Vicki.
Thank you, gentlemen. Tonight's report is on the month of March, March being the 9th month of our 12-month year, 75% of our year behind us with this report. The budgeted amount for this year was $16,299,730.
There's a glare on this side of the desk. You wonder why we cut the lights off. So.
And as of the end of March, our revenues for March were $680,268. The March expenditures totaled $1,354,434. Our year-to-date totals for revenues are 83% of our budget, which is The received amount is $13,488,711, and the year-to-date total for expenditures total $11,365,874. Of the revenues received, a portion is the alcohol-related taxes. $114,800 was budgeted in these related accounts. With the 9 months behind us, we have received $99,690, and that's equal to 87% of what we budgeted. And through the month of March, with our TABIT dollars, our year-to-date totals $587,628. We had budgeted $750,000. Therefore, we've collected approximately 79% of what we budgeted. This slide shows the comparison for the last 3-4 years there. Again, the total amount for this year, again, is $587,628. And the old birthday tax, the motor vehicle tax it is, we've received a total of $189,000.
No, I like that first figure. I like that better.
Sorry about that. The motor vehicle tax is to date for this year $189,740. Gradually, again, it's slowly declining, the amount we're collecting on that. This next slide here is for the current year and last fiscal year. It's comparing the 2 years together. For the month of March, our lost collections totaled $166,331. The SPLOST dollars collected for March totaled $205,862. And for the TABIT again, the amount collected for March, which is actually for the month of February, was $78,744. This next slide here, again, reinforcing the local option sales tax, our lost dollars. We have budgeted $2,198,622 for the year. For the 9 months behind us, we've collected $1,815,426, which is approximately 83% of what was budgeted. Keeping in mind that the end of March really is 75% of the year behind us. Some of these collections are in excess. The next slide here is hotel motel receipts. The month of March totaled $41,473, bringing the 9-month total to $645,868. We had budgeted $676,675, and our collections to date are right at 96% of what was budgeted. You can see with the comparisons of the April, May, and June for the prior years that the revenues slightly bump up each month after that. On the next slide is our SPLOS update for our 2014 SPLOS. Again, it's a 72-month period. March was the 28th month of the 72 period. Total receipts for March were $277,218. Each of the cities received $35,678, and the county's portion was $205,862. The total to date on all the SPLOS receipts totaled $8,723,399. Each one of the cities have received $1,122,701, and the county's total to date totals $6,477,997. This is just an informational slide on the SPLOS here from the beginning that recaps all the months and the amounts of the ACH that came in. Again, our total to date is $8,723,399. This is the breakdown on our March ACH receipt that came in. The total amount received was $277,218. The county maintains a 1% admin fee totaling $2,772, leaving the balance of $274,446. With that, each of the cities received $35,678. The county retains $203,090 and putting aside $100,000 each month for the debt service. The project fund received $103,090 to carry on SPLOST projects with. And this slide here is for our separate funds, solid waste, 911, drug task force, and a noted judicial. The main columns are the two right columns, the total of their expenditures for the year to date, and where they're sitting with their average spend. Solid waste has spent $58,670, which is at 77% of their budget. 911 has spent $617,211. They're at 70% of their budget. Drug task force has spent $433,633. They're at 78% of their budget. And the notice circuit, $454,471. They've spent 62% of their budget. That's the report for March. If you have any questions.
The only ones we're ahead of spending, we don't fund anyway.
As most of you know, the county receives a bulk of its general fund revenue October, November, give or take, with property tax. So as the year progresses and we get closer to May and June, we always want to see our revenue, of course, exceed expenses, basic business. But we're kind of we're front end heavy on the revenue, back end heavy on our expenses. So we have to watch that. So, any questions for Ms. Vicki?
And normally May and June are pretty heavy with expenses because some annual bills come through about that time.
Thank you, Ms. Vicki.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Mr. Melton, anything that you got we need to discuss on any particular matters?
No, sir, unless you have, the board has any questions for me.
Guys, in the next few weeks, in the month of May, I'm seeing probably we're going to need to have a kind of another budget meeting, go over some things with staff. So just kind of keep that in the back of your mind. We'll coordinate schedules over the next few weeks so we can get our budget put to bed by mid-June. So anyway, having said that, at this time we'll open the floor up for citizen participation or any comments anybody like to share for the good of the cause. If you'll raise your hand, I'll get to you as quick as I can, and you just need to get your name and address. Miss Cindy?
Just a couple of calendar items. This Thursday is our Eggs and Issues breakfast at the Cleveland United Methodist Church, 7:30, and Kids Fun and Farm Day is on Friday at the Ag Center. That's where every fourth grader has an opportunity to learn where their food comes from, and the Agribusiness Committee puts that together. And then our business expo, now we've included health. We've got a lot of great options for health care, so we've included the Business and Health Expo that'll be held at Babyland on the 18th from 3 to 7. And then the Sunday we have a bike ride, working on creating that cycling destination for White County. We've got a U.S. National Grand Fondo race series that'll be in Helen. And then on May 21st, we'll have another bike event. So that's Georgia Wine Cycling. tour, which they will not be riding and drinking. They'll be just riding through wine country. Don't worry, Sheriff, it's all good. But anyway, some really fun and exciting things. And I'd like to also publicly thank Richard Riley for being a champion and getting us moving with Hardman Farm, and John Erbley. You know, he was, you know, in the very beginnings, and I appreciate him taking Billy Chisholm and I down that little path, and we were so excited just to walk on the grass, but just to see where it's gone today is really exciting.
All right. I'm planning on attending Thursday morning. We got two things. We get the eggs and issues and the prayer. So there could be, Miss Shanda, 3 of us or more at either one of those events. So we might want to do just a little announcement or something. Sheriff, are you staying alive?
I'm staying alive, but I'm inside it, and the people's choice.
All right. For those who don't know,
Good thing is he woke up alive again.
Miss Cindy and Sheriff Walden participated in the Dancing with the Stars CASA fundraiser Friday night, and I had the opportunity to watch it training. I sure did.
I haven't watched it myself.
I watched it. And
Was it education?
Cindy, stay just like the way you are.
Don't worry, I won't be your dad.
You look better this way. You watch, you know what I'm talking about. Sheriff, that bright red shirt, you were my inspiration today.
He just don't want chicken on the way home.
But it was, I mean, seriously, you guys like y'all had a blast, and I'm getting totally off subject here, but anyway, thank y'all for doing what you did.
I think I'm gonna keep my day job, and I enjoy it.
Me too. But you know, also it was a great thing that there were over 500 people and a lot of people that had never been to White County and to the Yonah Vineyards to see that fabulous event facility. But one thing is, our high school is absolutely phenomenal and amazing. Warrior TV, you know, we have an incredible asset with that, but I can probably say there's never, not a single high school television station that's done pay-per-view, and that is definitely better than the county.
Especially in high definition.
Yeah, at high def. But that was amazing that they were there and did a fabulous job.
That's a subject to itself. Actually, unfortunately, I went somewhere, I had LTE coverage. I was told folks could not stream it on Windstream. You can do the math on that, and that's a subject all to itself. We're all smiling here.
I saw one comment said that in White County that the sun was out and so was Windstream.
Oh, yeah. All right. Anyone else? I'm sorry. Okay. As I said a little while ago, we got to work on some upcoming meeting dates, and we'll be announcing those in a short period of time. Also, just food for thought, we may be having to do a combined work session and called meeting on May 22nd, because May 29th is Memorial Day. So got several moving parts. So just as Ms. Shanda does, she does a good job on getting the information out to the media. We'll get that advertised as quickly as we can. You know, folks, I don't want to prolong the meeting for the sake of prolonging. Commissioner Bryant first. Second. Commissioner Hoffman second. All in favor? Aye, aye, aye. Folks, have a good evening. We appreciate it.
Thank you.